It's Khalif Starks, and I'm back with another hot topic that occurred this past week involving 50 Cent and Tina Knowles by way of T.I. and 50 Cent.
I'm finna go top. She want me to treat her like a slut. So I'm finna go.
So I have an article from hotnewhiphop.com, but before I get into it, I'm going to try to just briefly summarize it. So apparently, T.I. and 50 Cent has had this weird blow up of tension really occur because they were scheduled to have a versus battle, and apparently 50 Cent backed out of the versus battle, and then Ti threw some shade at 50 Cent, basically calling him out for backing out because he really wanted to do the versus battle with 50 Cent. And once Ti threw that particular shade, 50 Cent posted a photo of Tiny. Now that's Ti's wife, okay? Posted a photo of Tiny. Now, when all this was happening, both of them are going back and forth. Ti is like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the studio. I don't post memes on social media. I get in the studio. I'm a rapper. Let's go. And 50 Cent just kept trolling on social media. Tina Knowles happened to just post a photo of Tiny, really supporting Tiny. It was a beautiful photo of Tiny, and she was bigging up Tiny and supporting her. And 50 Cent caught wind of that and threw shade at Tina Knowles. Now, Tina didn't explicitly call out 50 Cent. She was just giving praise to Tiny and saying how Tiny is beautiful and, supporting Tiny and just showing love. It got to 50 Cent. 50 Cent started attacking Tina Knowles and shading her. So that's a brief summary of what happened, child. Now, we all know that 50 Cent, we're going to get to him in a second, but let's go ahead and just really get through this beef with T.I. And I'm probably going to repeat what I just said, but that was a short summary. But let's get into this hot new hip hop article. The headline reads 50 Cent drags Tina Knowles into his beef with T.I. by Cole Blake. This is just more of a breakdown. Before I get into it, make sure to drop down and subscribe to my channel. Support your girl. Like, comment, share as I get through these hot topics and celebrity news. So 50 Cent has been trolling T.I. and his associates on social media for several days after their versus plan reportedly fell through. When this occurred, 50 Cent dragged Tina Knowles into his beef with T.I. after she voiced support for Tiny Harris on Instagram earlier this week. In doing so, he shared a picture of Knowles with the caption, "I'm not gonna do it, but shit is getting weird." Sorry for cussing. This is what he said. "I'm not gonna do it, but ish is getting weird. Little effed up albino kids. Grandmother is getting involved. What the F, lol."
Let's go.
He has since deleted the post and all others related to his beef with T.I. When the Neighborhood Talk, that's a blog, shared 50's post on Instagram, fans were highly critical in the comments section. One of the comments read, "She didn't even say anything about him. She showed love to Tiny," which is from one user. Another added, "I just hate that he was beefing with a man and took it out on a woman, now attacking another woman only because she was giving love to the woman he attacked. I think it's weird to do this, but ignore T.I., a man, and King, a young man." So the commenter is basically pointing out, okay, well, you have T.I. and King coming at you, but you're attacking Tiny and Tina Knowles. In Knowles' post, she shared a video of Tiny. Correction, I said photo earlier. She shared a video of Tiny and wrote in the quote, in the caption, "You feel that? That's what real feminine energy looks like." And she added Tiny at Major Girl. She also put a effortless, beautiful, unbothered, glow season, glam doll makeup. So that is what occurred. Now, when 50 Cent posted, "I'm not gonna do it," he posted a picture of Tina Knowles, kind of like as a warning. And then he also, added his cognac. It's called Brands Cognac, I guess, so he can get some publicity from this. So clearly he wanted this for publicity. You know, before this all occurred, once again, T.I. and 50 Cent, they were having this whole back and forth. Ti, he appeared on the episode of $1 Million Worth of Game, which is a podcast, and blamed 50 for a verse matchup between them falling through, a versus matchup. So basically, Ti went on the podcast and blamed their versus battle not working out on 50 Cent. Once again, 50 Cent, after he heard that, began to troll T.I. on social media and taking shots at Tiny Harris and her looks. And also their son, King Harris. Now, this also sparked On the ire, this is according to hotnewhiphop.com, on the ire of King Harris going off on 50 Cent. So, King Harris went off on 50 Cent several times. In one of the videos, he brought up 50 Cent's late mother, Sabrina Jackson. So 50 Cent's mother is not alive. So King Harris brought up 50 Cent's mother, which apparently triggered 50 Cent. And also in another one of those posts, he shared a list of over a dozen insults. Here is a quote from one of the videos. The list of people he's disrespected over the years is endless. He came into the game creating unnecessary controversy, and damn near 30 years later, he's still the same attention whore. Okay, that was from one of the posts that he posted. All right, so that's the update on this 50 Cent and T.I. thing. Here's the commentary. Why are you coming at Tina Knowles? Tina Knowles, she is a matriarch of our community. She just there like, honey, I'm seeing the tea. But she got caught in the crossfire, okay? Maybe Tina shouldn't have interjected herself. But here's the thing, 50 Cent, that is your elder, okay? That is your elder. You gotta have respect for your elders. And I just think that the thing with 50 is it's okay to troll, but for me, like personally, I don't like how he comes at women. Like, I'm still not over how he treated Tierra Marie. You get me in Little Kim, you know what I mean? So he has this thing where he trolls and we can laugh at the trolling and stuff like that, but it's like, okay, come on, like this is an elder in our community. Like you look crazy trying to promote your brand. You already have money, you already have the success. Like you got to grow up. I just think people are tired of the antics, and I think although he has money, that's a part of his character online is to troll. But sometimes the trolling just goes a little too far. Like chill out. Leave Mama Tina alone. Tina knows. Yes, she interjected herself and she caught a stray. But at the end of the day, you still got to show respect to your elders. It's not like she added him and went out of her way to go at him. So, I don't know if he's unhappy because this person is worth millions of dollars, but he loves drama. 50 loves beef. 50 loves, maybe because I think he's a Cancer. I think that's a zodiac sign. Let me see what his zodiac sign is, child. Yeah, he a Cancer. He's a Cancer. He just got to fly off the cuff and go after everybody. I have to drink some water. But yeah, 50, you've gone too far. This is a matriarch in our community. You got to chill out. Just relax. Drop down below and let me all know what you think about this 50 Cent T.I. thing. T.I. and him have been going at it. King been calling him out all over social media. Just get to the versus battle and get to it. Like, y'all are so rich. Y'all have all this money, child. And I get that, I get on social media, people, the blogs, y'all want to be in the blogs, y'all got products to promote. We want to do what we got to do, but I just think coming at the matriarch of Beyonce, Giselle Knowles Carter, like, you got to chill. You got to relax. You got to relax. And it's just, grow up. Earlier this week, Teyana Taylor, she called out critics. Actually, it wasn't earlier this week. It was yesterday, February 27th. I'm recording this on the 28th, but you might be watching this on the 29th when it comes out. But Teyana Taylor, she is calling out critics who judged her and had all of these things to say when she first announced that she was going to pivot out of music and focus on film and acting and directing. Okay, so the article that I will be using just to give us some details about exactly what she said will be from the Grio. Um, Before we get into that, Teyana Taylor has had a big week. She's actually had a big last few months. I mean, she got a Golden Globe for her role in One Battle After Another. She also got an Oscar nomination for that same role as well. And also, Teyana Taylor, she is Time Magazine's Woman of the Year. That was unveiled 2 days ago. So it's Teyana's season right now. Like Teyana Taylor is finally at a point in her career where she is seeing the fruits of her labor. I already did one video where a lot of people were criticizing her winning the Golden Globe because they were saying, oh, black women are always over sexualized and black women can't ever just have a wholesome role. That's not 100% true. There are other black women in the industry who have won high awards in the industry, such as Oscars and Golden Globes for other types of roles. Not every single role has been just sexual roles. Okay, so that's not 100% true. Now, is there truth to it? Yes. I do think that there's space for black women to express and say, oh my God, like, why do we have to play these overly sexual roles? But I already did another video on that. There's no need to go down that rabbit. I mean, that train of thought in regards to that, you can go watch the old video. I did it like a month ago. But we have a new article, and the headline reads, Never Cage a Creative. Teyana Taylor calls out those who called her pivot from music to acting dumb. With the Golden Globe Award, an Oscar, and Grammy nomination, Teyana Taylor always knew she would be a great actress. This article was written by Hania Philogene from The Griot. Hopefully, I said your last name correctly. If I didn't, I do apologize. But Teyana Taylor, she's taking this moment to respond to critics. Here is the article. Sometimes the best thing you can do in life is tune out the naysayers and follow your gut. And Teyana Taylor is a testament to that. During a recent interview with Time Magazine for her Woman of the Year nomination, Taylor revealed that people were not always supportive of her acting career. Yes, the same acting career that has earned a Golden Globe and a Oscar nomination for the talented young lady here. Here is a quote from her. Everybody told me it was dumb, the multi-hyphenate told Time. And I was like, no, I am going to be a great actress. One day I'm going to be a great director. Taylor first made her debut in the entertainment space as a choreographer, dancer, and singer. At 15 years old, Beyonce hired her to choreograph her Ring the Alarm music video. Since then, Taylor has built a name for herself in music and dance, performing iconic choreography, most notably in Kanye West's Fade music video, and releasing hit songs like Issues, Hold On. However, and the song is called Issues slash Hold On. However, by 2020, she recalls feeling so unappreciated, end quote, that she was ready to step away from music. So I don't know if you all recall that time, if you are into R&B music or a Teyana Taylor fan. Back in 2020, Teyana Taylor, she released an album called The Album, and it was her, I believe it was her third album that came out of the Good Music slash Def Jam, deal that she had. And she was over it. After she dropped that album, she was like, I'm going on a 5-year break. I'm really tired of this. I'm tired of feeling unappreciated as an artist because, and I'm just paraphrasing what she said at that time because I remember, she was saying how the streams were there, the music was there. Like she had the singles, she had the record with Kehlani called Morning. Tiana has had some bops. Now, has she had like these number one hit records? No, but she definitely has had bops and records that have charted and that have garnered her traction to where, she is a woman in R&B. Like she is a notable face for women in this space of R&B music and for Black women. So she announced a 5-year hiatus and she wanted to focus on acting and directing. That's when she released the film and directed the film and worked on the film. I believe it's called 1000 and Me or 1001. Hopefully I got that correct. Let me just double check that because I don't want to jumble that title. Let's see here. I think it's 1000 and Me. No, it's 1001. Correction, 1001. That came out in 2023, 3 years later. And she also has a production company called the Aunties. So she's definitely been doing her thing. Back to the article here. So, however, by 2020, she recalls feeling so unappreciated that she was ready to step away from music. And she did until last year when she returned with her Grammy nominated album Escape Room. The album, which she plans to tour in summer of 2026, she says reflects the love, heartbreak, and healing she experienced. From winning her first Golden Globe to receiving her first Grammy and Oscar nomination within weeks of each other, it's safe to say that the one battle after another star is in a winning season. However, the victory is not determined by whether she walks away with a trophy. Here's another quote from her. Even if I go home empty handed, I have won, she shared, explaining how being nominated amongst the best of the best is enough. Here's the continuation of the quote. I would love the EGOT, and if I don't get that Tony, guess what? That T is going to stand for Teyana. And to all the people who discourage her from acting, she says, end quote, when you have a creative that does it all, let them spread their wings. Never cage a creative. So that's what Teyana had to say in regards to the naysayers judging her and talking trash about her and just not trusting her vision. The thing about Teyana Taylor is I feel that she has proven herself. She's been in the industry literally for 20 years. I mean, since she was 15, she's 35 now. So Teyana has had a lot of ups and downs. She's had a lot of empty promises. She was signed to Pharrell first and signed to Kanye after. Both of them literally let that girl fall through the cracks and didn't really invest in her and really help her in her career path. They were focused on themselves and their own careers. You get me? So I really commend her for being where she is. Tiana has worked very, very, very hard. Now she has gotten a lot of criticism. Every celebrity gets criticism. Nobody is sorry. I got my chi-chis out today. Oh my god, the girls are out. But no, nobody is exempt from that. Do you get what I'm saying? So she has gotten, criticism, of course, for, basically a lot of black women and black men saying on threads, most notably, that's where I saw that, and on Instagram as well, that she was over sexualized and she's not really that talented. These are the comments that I've seen. I've seen people say, like, oh, we don't really feel that Teyana is all that talented. Like, she's not that good of an actress. The movie wasn't that good. Here's the thing, though. Criticism is okay. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. But, I also feel that we should let people have their moment. God damn, everybody always has, I mean, I have my opinion too, so let me shut up. But, it just seems like whenever it comes to our artists, we always want to just be so hypercritical. It's like, just let people have their moment. Critique is valid, though. I mean, we all should critique people. Not everybody's going to be the strongest actor, the strongest singer, the strongest dancer. But, sorry, I went and got boba, and I don't have actual boba in it. It's coconut lychee. Um, if you deny that Tiana Taylor is not like a multi hyphenate artist, you're crazy. I mean, the woman works hard. She's one of the hardest working women in showbiz. And I commend her and I'm happy for her and I love everything that she's doing. In other news topics, Megan Thee Stallion has been making waves and headlines this past week with the announcement of her playing Zitler in the new Moulin Rouge, the musical, which was just announced, I believe it was announced 3 days ago so far. But I have an article from Variety with more details about it. I did talk about this on my TikTok channel, so I'm going to talk about it again on the podcast because, it was one of the hottest topics. And, I love Megan Thee Stallion. Now, I know a lot of my news topics are for the black artists, because that's who I follow the most. I do follow some of the Caucasians as well. We might talk about them, we might not, but they already get enough attention. You know what I mean? So, no shade to them. But, I might talk about some Caucasian news. I might not. I don't know. Okay, so I have an article from Variety. I'll probably put it here if I can remember to edit that in. The headline reads, Megan Thee Stallion to make Broadway debut in Moulin Rouge as gender-flipped Harold Zitler. And this was written by Rebecca Rubin. So Megan Thee Stallion will make her Broadway debut in Moulin Rouge, the musical. She's stepping into the role of nightclub impresario Harold Zitler, a part of originated by Tony winner Danny Bernstein. So that part was originated by Tony winner Danny Bernstein. She will take the stage at the Al Hirschfeld Theater on March 24th for an 8-week engagement that runs through May 17th. Megan Thee Stallion's turn will mark the first time a female identifying performer is portraying the character in any Moulin Rouge production worldwide. Since Bernstein departed the production, Titus Burgess, Boy George, and Wayne Brady have welcomed audiences to the legendary Parisian venue as Harold Zitler. RuPaul's Drag Race winner Bob the Drag Queen is currently in the role through March 22nd. Here is a quote from Megan Thee Stallion that she said upon this news being unveiled. Stepping on to the Broadway stage and joining the Moulin Rouge the musical team is an absolute honor. I've always believed in pushing myself creatively, and theater is definitely a new opportunity that I'm excited to embrace. Broadway demands a different level of discipline, preparation, and storytelling, but I'm up for the challenge and can't wait for the hotties to see a new side of me. Moulin Rouge the musical will close officially on July 26th after 7 years on Broadway. By then, Moulin Rouge will have played 2,265 performances and 24 previews, making it the 36th longest-running show in Broadway history. Producers didn't give a reason for the closure, although the production has been playing to nearly full houses. Moulin Rouge the musical is enormously expensive to mount because of the music rights and the elaborate glittering set. So there you all have it there with the latest news about Megan Thee Stallion. One of the producers from the musical said, "Welcome Megan Thee Stallion into the Moulin Rouge. The musical community is a thrilling moment for us." So welcoming her into this community is a thrilling moment for us, is what this producer said. Her name is Carvin. I'm messing up her name, child. Her name is Carmen Pavlovic. And she also continued and she said, Megan is a true global star. She is one of the most influential artists of her generation, and her impact on music and culture is undeniable. This historic casting is a major part of our closing celebrations. That was some of the latest news for Megan Thee Stallion. Also, too, she was on the remix of Juvenile's new record called BBB. So I'm really happy for Megan. I think that Megan Thee Stallion is phenomenal. I am so proud of her for working. You know, one thing about Megan is that she continues to work hard and nobody can take that away from her.